Okay, so let's talk about another odd news story. So this kind of news, it's not sports news, it's not politics, it's what we would call odd news. And it could be good or bad, it's just a little bit different. It's out of the norm, it's out of the ordinary, it's maybe special, extraordinary. At the very least, it's something that we don't see every day. Okay, so we have this behind me, and it's kind of interesting. We'll get to it, but let's see the headline first. All right, so the headline is Police Chase Moose Through Idaho City. All right, so before we jump in, if you can see up here, it's from upi.com and they have a section for odd news. Okay, so if you want to go there and explore, great. Okay, so police chase moose through Idaho City. So Idaho, let's take a look. Where is Idaho? So Idaho on map. Okay, there we go. So let's click on that. Make it bigger so you can see. So Idaho is a state in the United States, and it's just over here in red, close to Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Nevada, Oregon, and Washington. And a small section of it even borders Canada. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. So the police chase a moose. You have moose in your country? Well, we do where I'm from. Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's take up moose. All right. So moose are very big. They're bigger than deer. All right. So this would be a male moose because he has the antlers, right? The female moose, they don't have antlers, similar to deer. Okay. So this one is a big one. All right. I'm trying to see if we can find one that's close to maybe next to a car, because that can give us an idea about the size. Let's take a look. Here we go. Aha! So check this out, right? So here's the picture. Is that a... I'm not sure what the make of the car is, but either way, you have an idea how big the car is. Now look at the moose. The moose are huge. And I remember growing up, you hear sometimes about accidents where the car's going really fast and it crashes into a moose. Now, sometimes the moose will just get up and walk away, but the car is what you could say totaled, demolished, just crunched up like crazy and so much damage, and the people get hurt very badly. Okay, so let's go back to the article. Here we are. All right, so police chase moose through Idaho City. All right, so in the picture, it's a video. If you want to watch the video, you're welcome to go to the website, upi.com. This story was just from April 2nd, so not too long ago. Well, a little while ago. But either way, in the picture or the front image of the video, you can see police officers from at least 2 different departments standing here. And we know they're from different departments because the ones over here, they're wearing dark blue. I don't think it's black, I think it's dark blue. And these guys kind of have like an army green, army green on. So I bet these are more like wildlife officers. And these ones over here are probably like city police officers. And these might be like wildlife officers that, I don't know, they work for a different section with different specialty. Okay, so let's jump in. And I'm going to click the continue reading, so we'll check it out. Forget about the advertisement. That's not why we're here. Okay, April 2nd, residents, maybe I'll just highlight, there we go. Residents of an Idaho neighborhood watched an unusual police chase unfolding outside their homes when a moose went for a run through town. Okay, so the residents are just people who live in that area. You could say the citizens, the people, even the neighbors, right? The people who live there in this neighborhood, they watched an unusual police chase. All right, so police chase, you might usually think, well, let's get images. Why not? Usually when I think of police chase, I think, cars on the freeway with people, right? They're chasing and it's high speed, it's drama, it's action, and it's everything in between. However, this police chase was for a moose. So they said it's unusual, it's strange, right? When a moose went for a run, if we say went for a run, you can say a person went for a run, right? If you wake up in the morning and you go jog, you're going for a run, right? You're going to exercise. Here it's a moose, though. So the moose decided to pass through, come through this area, go for a walk, wander around, trot around, anyway, through the town. Okay, so I guess the city is Rexburg because it says Rexburg residents. That would be people who live in Rexburg. So Rexburg's residents said they noticed police outside their homes Wednesday morning. Let me read that again. Rexburg residents said they noticed police outside their homes Wednesday morning, and they looked out their windows to see the officers were chasing after a loose moose. All right, so a loose moose just means like if a criminal is on the loose, they're not caught yet. They're trying to escape. They're running away. No one has control of them yet. So if we say loose moose, it sounds kind of nice because it rhymes, right? Loose moose. But the idea is that the moose is not in a caged area. It's not in a fence. It's just open. It can go anywhere it wants. And moose, as we saw just a moment ago, they're very big. They're large. They're huge. So if someone's like, stop, the moose is just like, and just goes where it wants to go, right? Okay, so let's move forward. Here we go. The Rexburg Police Department and Idaho Fish and Game Conservation officers chased the moose through multiple neighborhoods until it was finally tranquilized behind a church about 11:30 a.m. Right, so there we go. Rexburg Police Department. That's got to be the guys over here in the blue, if you can see, right there, right? And then they said they're also the Idaho Fish and Game Conservation officers. Okay, so the Rexburg Police Department would be the city. You know, they take care of whatever's happening in the city. Idaho Fish and Game officers, they're more like wildlife, you know, animals, fish, nature, stuff like that. So they have a very specific focus, and they would be the ones to cover the moose. And in other words, take charge of the situation. The Rexburg Police Department would play more of an assistance role. They would support, be in a support role, right? Okay, and they chased the moose through multiple neighborhoods until it was finally tranquilized. Woo! Let's look up tranquilize, right? What does it mean if they tranquilize someone or something? If you got tranquilized, what would happen? Okay, so let's see. If of a drug having a calming or sedative effect on, okay, that's not quite what we're looking for. It can make sense, you know, if you take a sleeping pill, relaxes you, it tranquilizes you, because inside there we have the word tranquil, right? And tranquil means calm, peaceful, relaxed. But we're using it as a verb here, tranquilize. And specifically in this situation, it's with an animal, okay? So here we go. This is what we're looking for. Administer, which means to give, to dish out, to deal, do something. Administer a tranquilizing drug to a person or animal. And if it's to a person, they're probably in the hospital, they're hooked up to like the IV and it drips into them and then they fall asleep, right? Or get more relaxed. But the animal, they're probably using tranquilizer darts. Woo, let's look up and let's just quick look. Here we go. The stray elk was tranquilized and relocated. So an elk is another kind of wildlife, similar to a deer, not as big as a moose, but not as small as a deer. So here we go. Let's take a look for tranquilizer darts. All right, there you go. So here's a tranquilizer gun and also the dart. So it's not poison. At least these ones aren't, right? It has some sort of chemical substance inside that goes into the animal's body and it makes them relax. It puts them to sleep, right? So the idea is not to kill. The idea is to incapacitate. Ooh, that's a good word. Here we go. Incapacitate. Incapacitate means to prevent from functioning in a normal way. So if they shoot you in the shoulder with a dart and it starts to put you to sleep and you're like, it's easy to say you're not functioning in a normal way. You're incapacitated. Okay, it could be for different reasons. We were talking about tranquilizer darts. Here it's talking about a heart attack. He was incapacitated by a heart attack. Right? Some synonyms: disabled, debilitated, indisposed, unfit, immobilized. Ooh, that's probably a good one for this situation. Paralyzed Well, paralyzed, you could be paralyzed temporarily, because if your body shuts down, you go to sleep, you're not really in control of your body. Uh-huh. So immobilized, that's one I think would work well with the moose situation. Okay, so here we go. These are tranquilizer darts. This is a tranquilizer gun. And, right, tranquilizer dart, tranquilizer gun. Let's go back. Here we go. So the Rexburg Police Department and Idaho Fish and Game Conservation officers chased the moose through multiple neighborhoods until it was finally tranquilized behind a church about 11:30 a.m. So 11:30 a.m. in Idaho, it's still bright out, right? It's before lunchtime. So people are probably looking out their windows. They're inside their houses because of the coronavirus, and then they're like, a moose. Now they're from Idaho, so Idaho it's kind of out west, and there's a lot of woods and wildlife and stuff like that, but still they're inside a city. And when there's a city with lots of buildings and houses and people, then the animals usually stay away, right? But for some reason, this moose was like, I'm coming through. The moose was on the loose. Okay, here we go. Let's continue. Moose are large animals and can become very aggressive and dangerous when they wander into populated areas. Here we go. Moose are large animals and can become aggressive and dangerous when they wander into populated areas. So let's take a look at aggressive. What does aggressive mean? Ooh, here we go. Ready or likely to attack or confront. Confront means to like get in your face. Something's going to happen, right? He confronted the mailman, so they're like up in each other's face, right? Characterized by or resulting from aggression. Okay, so similar words: hostile, belligerent, bellicose, antagonistic, truculent, pugnacious, combative. Ooh, that's a good one, combative. Because sometimes when you're aggressive, it could be physically, boom, 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 or it could be verbally, right? You're shouting and screaming at someone. Either way, when we're talking about the moose becoming aggressive, let's take a look at a moose again. How about moose in traffic? All right, so if you jumped out of your car and you're like, trying to scare the moose or push the moose is probably going to attack you or hit you with its antlers or charge at you or something. So then you could say that they are very aggressive. Okay, so let's take a look. So moose are large animals and can become aggressive and dangerous when they wander into populated areas. So populated just means with people. People live there, right? Fish and Game spokesman James Brower told the East Idaho News, right? So a spokesman is just a person who's representing a certain organization or government department in this situation. Our primary concern in these situations is human safety, followed by the safety of the moose. So right now they're prioritizing, right? Prioritizing means to choose what is most important. And they're saying humans are more important than animals, than the moose. So it's more important that the humans stay safe than the moose, right? Because the moose is very powerful and can hurt the humans, right? So when a moose comes into town, as this one did, it is in the best interest of the public and the moose to relocate the animal to a safe location, right? So relocate, inside you have locate, like the location. But if you relocate something, you take it from here and you put it somewhere else. Okay, so they tranquilized it, boop, right? They shot it with a dart or more than one, I don't know, that's a big animal. And eventually the sedative, which is the chemical inside the dart, that went into the moose's body, made it go to sleep, and then they relocated it. They moved it around, which is kind of difficult because the moose is very big, huge. All right, here we go. And Brower once again was the spokesman, the spokesperson. Brower said the moose will be released about 25 miles outside of town in Green Canyon area. All right, so I'm not familiar with Green Canyon area, but it must be another section of Idaho outside the town. So they're going to put the moose inside some sort of vehicle or trailer or something and bring it 25 miles outside of town. And then they'll probably, I imagine they might wait till it wakes up a little bit, because if it's, still out there, and there are wolves or something that attack it, I can't imagine they would do that. So, yeah, They're just trying to make it safe for everyone by relocating the moose, right? So have you seen a moose lately? A moose on the loose running around your town? That would be something to talk about. And that's how it made it into odd news. All right, once again, we read the article, Police Chase Moose Through Idaho City. This is considered odd news because, it doesn't have anything to do with politics. It's not sports. It's not anything about the coronavirus. It's just something unique, something kind of special, something kind of out of the ordinary that happened in this town. And people might find it interesting. It's odd news. Okay? Wonderful.